fusion strong, let's get started. Starting with just our feet, lifting up the toes, up and down, toes up and down. Curl the toes in and under. We're only doing a few of these just to get things mobilized from the ground and up. And 4, 3, 2, and right foot out and in, out and in. Let that knee bend a little to push it out. Now you can add a little mini dip. You can do a little funkiness with the arms if you feel like it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and we switch. Left foot, and of course you can keep it here, or add a little dip, or get funky. But the goal here is to keep that left heel in the ground so the movement is coming from the hip joint. 5, 4, 3, 2, and toes in, heels out. This really awkward, like, looks like you have to kind of P-pose. And we're going to take opposite heel and lift them up, going across and across. And 4, 3, 2, now both heels at the same time. Whoop. Up and down. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and heels in, toes out, and just a little bounce. Leaning a little left or right so that we can start waking up those smaller muscles in the obliques, in the abdominals, just to make sure that we don't fall over, and giving our knees just that little bit of a stretch. And 4, 3, 2, now step it just a little wider than the hips and back to a little knee bounce, and add a little lean if you want, not mandatory. Left and right, and then bring it through center, staying here, just a little bounce. And 5, 4, 3, 2, make sure your weight's on the left foot. Now the right heel goes out and in, out and in, out and in, keeping that left knee pointed to the side, left toe pointed to the side. Now can we speed it up? So it's more of a heel stomp versus lean and tap. It's that stomp it to the side. 4, 3, 2, 1, bring it in. Other side, heel out and in, out and in. Now if you want to get sassy, stick your butt out. Bring it back in. Add that little heel push down, keeping the big toe in the same spot. 5, 4, 3, 2, toes forward. Give me waddle, wobble, wiggle, jiggle, walk. And shaking it in and out. And 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, give me some little twists. Make sure you're adding a little lean. Whoop. Lean and lean. And 4, 3, 2, and kick your own bum. Make sure that that knee is staying behind. You're not bringing it forward before you kick. You can really add that little knee dip and lean to kick. 5, 4, 3, 2. Bring me some heel stomps. Nice and wide, creating that little external rotation through the hip joint. Heel stomp at 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. Heel march with a little bit of hippie dippies. Go for that walk forward and back. And go for a little bit of double tap with just the hips. Keeping the toes on the ground. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Right foot stays, left leg bring it out, strike a pose. Just for fun, just strike a pose. And then little hip bounce. Shifting your weight. And now we're gonna lean further away. Now, can we turn it into weird funky hip circles? 4, 3, 2, and heel down, straight leg, tick-tock the hips, and bring it back up. Shift, give me a pose, fun, get silly, and hip bounce. Step it a little wider, and it's this weird little shift until we create these weird circles. Up and around and over. This is about kind of really getting into our knee joints and our hip joints. 4, 3, 2, good news. All of that warm up is done. Grab your weights. We're gonna start moving into the hips, feet together. And just, I'm not gonna say lock and load, more of a swing. Just start getting your body familiar with this little bit of a twist. Now add a little bend in the knee, a little bounce. Letting your weight shift across the base of the feet. Add a little mini bicep curl, so we're bending at the elbows. 5, 4, 3, 2, step a little wider. Side bend and up. Left and up. Right, bring back. Left and back. Making sure we don't pull with the shoulders. If this is feeling really good and stable, how about if I say lift up your heels, get off the heels, stay on the ball of the feet. Now, woo, try to side bend. What? Feel free to make whatever weird noises come out, because it really changes our perception, our balance, and how our body can respond. Give me one more each side. Last one. Step a little wider. Bring the hands up. We're gonna do a little twist and jab. So I'm gonna keep my hips stable. I'm not wiggling my hips. Taking my left hand and just a kind of a scoop, jab, reach. I'm adding a little mini squat, or I can just stay here. Punching it across, or staying stable. Figure out which option works for you. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring it in. Step it together, bicep curl. And make them hammer curls. That means our knuckles are forward versus palms up. Now only come halfway down before coming up. Halfway and up. 5, 4, 3, 2. Hold those elbows in. Stay halfway, out to the side, bring it in. Using exhales, squeeze it to the side. Keeping chest forward, don't arch your back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and release. Oi! Give me some shoulder shrugs. Not sure if you're feeling those, I am. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now we're not going to come up all the way. This is more about balance and stability. Right arm forward, left arm to the side. And we switch. They don't have to come all the way up to shoulder height if that's not feeling good. So side view, one in front, one to the side. Exhaling up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. How are those arms? Mine want to like fall off. So, but guess what? We're not stopping anytime soon. Well, kind of. So, up overhead. Bend the elbows. Try not to hit the back of your head. So the key here is not to flare the ribs up and out, but to hug the ribs in. Pressing up and down. And don't let the elbows go to the side. Keep up and down. Focusing on the triceps. If you find that your shoulders are creeping up into your ears, pull ears up and shoulders down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release it down. One weight stays down on the ground while we hold on to the other weight. We're purposely keeping it small because we're going to build our way up with balance with the kettlebell. But right now it's left leg to the side, right arm out. Now, of course, option 1, you can keep it low. Take the leg up. If this is even too much there, you can bicep curl it if you need to, but the goal is to reach without kind of looking spastic. Exhale it up and down. If you want to try really balancing, when that left leg comes down, don't let it touch the ground. Exhale it to the side. 4, 3, 2, whoopsie, and 1. Bring it down, switch sides. I say whoopsie because I'm about to fall over, just for the record. So left foot stays, left arm holds. You can take option 1, option 2, and of course, explore getting big. Exhaling it out to the side. Trying to keep as stable as possible. Exhale it up and out. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now before we switch to the kettlebell, bring it back over to the right side. I want us to really check into our side bends, our unbalanced side bends. Have your feet wider than your hips. Bend the right knee and lift up the right heel. Now, you'll notice some people can like do this little hippie thing. I'm actually leaning, so I'm going to exaggerate, and I'm going to come a little closer for a second. I'm leaning when I side bend. I lean in and bring it back. So I'm putting more weight on that right foot. And so side view. And this way I'm really pushing off, whoop, once I get my balance right, pushing off that foot. It's not about how low I can go, it's about how much I can lean into it and push back. 2 more. And last one, and we switch sides. Again, just checking in because we're moving up into the kettlebell. So, not moving with the hips, leaning in, putting weight on that left foot, and squeezing up. Inhale and exhale up. Inhale and exhale it up. Checking in with spine, obliques. And 5. Whoop, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take it down and please grab your heavy weight. Whether you're using a kettlebell at home or a laundry jug, a sack of potatoes, a sack of sugar, anything that has any type of handle. So right now I just literally want us to stand as close as we can with our feet and we pass the weight across. Just for a moment to get used to switching grips. Now, lift up the heels. Come onto the ball of your feet. Does this feel different? Maybe not too much different, but it's just checking in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it to the right, still staying off your heels. Side bend. Not forward bend, or definitely not back bend. Just a little side bend. And try not to thrust your hips out to the side. Inhale and exhale. 4, 3, 2, and bring it up. Don't drop those heels yet. Shift over to the left. Inhale, exhale. Keeping those heels only an inch or 2 off the ground is really going to make balance more challenging. It's going to strengthen all those small little muscles in your feet and ankles. And I don't know about you, but my calves are kind of getting warm. 4, 3, 2, and bring it up. Whew. Give those feet a moment break. Both hands together, heels in, toes out. Get nice and wide where you can bring your knees over your heels, not beyond, just over the heels, and a little pulse. Straight up and down, just a little pulse. Now stay as low as you can and pulse it at the lower point. For the challenge, lift up your big toe, both sides. I find with this one, if my big toe goes up, all my toes go up. And that's just the way it is. So as long as you keep balance, the goal here is to focus on your heels and the 4 corners of the foot. So the front big toe ball, the baby toe ball. 5, 4, 3, 2. Anybody's quads warm? Because mine are. Bring the feet a little closer together. We are going for some swings. Shift back. And just keeping your back nice and flat. So just a quick reminder, we're not buckling the knees forward. We're sticking the bum back. The hands, the weight does not need to go higher than the shoulders. Stick the bum back and squeeze it. When we drop down, see if you can brace yourself with your core. Push your heels into the ground. Really dig in to get back up. Stay with me. 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. So we did some balance work with a dumbbell. We're going to do some balance work with the kettlebell. Shift the kettlebell to the left side. The right leg is going to move. Now it's not going to the side, it's going to go back. So side view, it's tilt and bring it back. I'm not rounding the spine to get the weight lower. That's not the important part. It's just tilting at the hips. And if you want, step. The goal here is not to round the spine. The weight does not have to hit the ground. Hips are parallel. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Maybe dry off your kettlebell if your hands are getting sweaty before you switch sides. So real quick check. Your hips are parallel. We're not doing funky tilts. Leg comes back. The arm isn't swinging. And you're just hinging. So you're not rounding, it's a hinge. And you can make it small. If I'm letting my hand go down, it's not because I'm rounding my spine. So front view. The other hand can do whatever it needs to for balance. Whoop. Inhale, exhale. Now, and if that standing leg, if the hamstring is kind of tight, don't worry about how low you go, and you can soften the knee just a little bit. Just don't turn it into a squat. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Ooh, how's that feeling? A little different. So, giving our legs a moment's break to get more into the upper body. So, often when we lean forward and do a wide pull, our knuckles are forward. I want you to experiment with what does it feel like if you're holding your weight underneath and we're reaching forward versus the hands over. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now switch the grip, palms up and over, nice and tall. This time, elbows to the side. And when you get to the top, I want you to think about when you get to the top, rip it apart, like you're trying to pull the handles apart. Really squeeze those shoulder blades together. Release, pull up and down. And if you're built like moi, try not to smack your boobs on the way up, because that's a thing. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to reverse our grip and we're going to grab the weight by the horns and we're going to flip up. So kind of like this. And if your hands are sweaty, wipe down your hands first. We're going to not hit our heads. We're going to scoop it around, behind, bring it forward. Up and around. Now, if you've got a laundry jug, don't hold it upside down. Up and around. I'm letting my ribs move a little here, just to avoid hitting my head. Only doing a few of these, don't worry. This is very much about shoulder rotation and mobility. Now hold it in front. Don't let it rest on your chest or your boobs or your belly. Hold it out in front. Right foot stays, left leg, and then we switch. Step and back. Using exhales to step back and push back up. 5, 4, 3, 2. How's those forearms and biceps? Last one. Whew. Bring it down. We're gonna use it again on the floor, but I don't know about you, but my grip is on fire. So shake out the forearms, the hands, and just add a little dance, funky, silly, pretend you're 3. If you add kicks, don't kick your kettlebell or furniture or pets. Please don't kick pets. Now I want you to swing the arms front and take turns which arm swings on top. And step together, hands lock and load. Give me wiggle twists. Lock and load. Whew, getting warm in this shirt. Wiggle twist. Lock and load, lock and load. And 4, 3, 2, and relax. We're gonna make our way to the ground in just a moment. And 4, 3, 2, and then bring your booty down. Bring it down any which way you can, as low as you can, finding your squat. Stay here for at least a breath or two if you can. Bring your hands down, and we're just gonna step it back into a tabletop. Check that your wrists are not too close to your knees. Make sure your wrists are underneath the shoulders. Don't dip the hips, pull the tailbone up. And I want you to lift up the toes, release them down. This is just shifting where you feel the weight in your knees. 3, 2, and 1. Bring the right knee a little bit towards midline, a left leg back. Now, not so far that you tilt the hips. Hips stay parallel. Don't tilt up and open. We're gonna lift the toes up, kick your own bum. The knee does not go up and down, just heel to bum. We did this standing up. Now, sometimes I see people do one of these and like arch their back. Nah, don't need to. And 5, 4, 3, 2, bend that knee, bring the knee in and out to the side for what we like to call a fire hydrant. So any dog owners will know exactly why it's called fire hydrant. Using exhale. Now the goal here is not to move your ribs. So a lot of core is going on here to stabilize. 4, 3, 2, and bring it down. Now before we switch sides, bring your forearms down, come onto the tops of your knees, and pull the belly button up and away from the floor. Coming into a low-lying kneeling plank. If you want, you can tuck it up. You can give yourself a wiggle or a shift forward and back. Again, the goal is stay with me in plank for as long as your body lets you. You can come up all the way. You can walk your plank. or stay on your knees. You can get onto your forearms, and of course, if you have a chair or a coffee table, any raised surface that's stable where you can get into this, access it more, please do so. 5, 4, 3. I'm counting super slow. 5. No, wait, hold on, where was I? 10? No. 1, hold on. I lost track. And I'm hoping you're laughing and not just groaning, because that just means you're working your core more. And let's go ahead, push up onto our hands, come back up on the table. Take your right toes back, left knee is a little bit in line. Make sure that we're not tilting the hips. Float the toes, kick your own bum. Now don't arch your back. Keep those hips slightly forward from the left knee, then the right knee. Kicking it up and back. Staying here just a little longer. 5, 4, 3, 2. Making sure I don't kick my kettlebell. Let's go ahead, bend that knee, and then out to the side. Fire hydrants. Use exhales. And don't forget to breathe, because breathing's a thing, right? And 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring your bum down. We're going to come seated. Take the legs out to the side. Whoop. Anybody else a little warm? You know, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm cold, I'm going to put on this shirt. And then you start working out and you're going, I really wish I wasn't wearing a shirt. So now we're just going to rock a little side to side. Just fiddle with your bum cheek and just settle yourself in. We don't wiggle enough, so that's a thing. For me anyways. So now, nice and tall. Bring the hands so that they're in line with your shoulders and the elbows are in line with your shoulders. Squeeze back enough that you're activating the shoulder blades. Your thumbs are kind of close to your armpits, but when we do it, don't droop the elbows down. Try to stay at the top here. And just a little movement through the upper part of your spine. Now the reason our thumbs are in our armpits is, one, I'm making sure to see if you're sweating. No, I'm totally joking. You don't need to check to see if you're sweating. But it's to feel for those pectorals as they push against those thumbs. 3, 2, and now take the arms, extend them out, still keeping them at about shoulder height, and keeping in mind if you've got obstacles in the way. This isn't a big movement. 4, 3, 2, and now classical saw. Right hand, left toes. Bring it back, and we switch. Now, whatever hand is taking behind, you're internally rotating, shoulder to reach behind. And if you don't touch the toes and just go for the little twist and extend, tucking the other hand right close to your back, that's okay too. And try to lead with your chest versus your face. Not the face. Chest. Courageous heart first. Heart first movement. Let's go for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lean back, bring those feet together. Give yourself a little wobble, little wiggle, little rocking on the bum. Now, keeping your feet together and your feet in the same spot. We're taking our booty for a walk. So, walk the bum as close as you can to the heels without moving your feet. And then, shift it back. Go back as far as you can before the big toes don't touch anymore. And then, walk it back. I should say forward, walk it forward. And then walk it back. come to about halfway, doesn't have to be precise. Bring the feet flat, knees wide. They're wider than the hips. Give yourself a little stretch, and wherever you are, check for your kettlebell. Drag it. No, you don't have to drag it. Just grab it. We're gonna take it up to the sky. And you don't have to walk on your bum. I'm just shifting so I don't hit my head on my side wall there. We're gonna roll down. Hold the kettlebell or the heavier weight not over your face, just above. And option 1, feet stay flat. Don't let the ribs flare up. Hug those ribs in. Option 2, float the knees. And if you're floating the knees, you can even just add some funky crisscrosses or heel beats. If you want, you can add leg extensions. Kick and switch, or hold the knees or feet down. Find the variation that works for you. As long as the hands are higher than your head, you're definitely going to be working something. 5, 4, 3, 2. Take the weight off to the side, but keep it somewhat close by. Staying on your back, we're going to take the legs up to the sky. Straight leg. Now check that you're not taking the heels higher than the hips. Keep them somewhat over your hips or slightly lower. Left leg straight down, and we switch. Right. Inhale, exhale. Now each time I'm moving my leg, I'm actually trying to make sure that I don't arch my back or flare my ribs. I'm trying to stay really stable. Now, the lower my leg goes, the harder that's going to be. So if I go too low and compromise that stability, I don't go as low. Inhale, exhale it up. Now let's go for kick and switch. Now if you want, you can reach up, curl your head and shoulders off the ground, grabbing calves or thighs. Just don't grab right behind your kneecap. 5, 4, 3, 2, and bring those knees into your chest. Rock your head down. If you are feeling any strain in your neck and shoulders, give yourself a funky little rock, waving side to side. Now heels come down in line with your hips and toes do not. So heels down, keep everything else off your feet. Press the heels in and exhale, lift your hips up into a glute bridge. And now little pulse. Just a little pulse, squeezing up and down. Push through those heels. If this is too challenging or if it doesn't feel right in anything, feet can come down and you can use the full support of your feet. But I want you to notice, if you can, when you're using just the heels, how much more hamstring and glutes are really working versus when you push into the whole flat of your foot. Little pulse, up and down. Up and down, up and down. 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's release down one vertebrae at a time. Ooh. Come onto your side, and this time you get to pick the side. Just remember what side you picked. I'm gonna take it nice and long. Feet, hips, shoulders, one line. So you're not bending, you're definitely not kicking back because that just leaves you falling over. Take a moment, push the hip down and away, lift up the leg, flex and point, flex and point. My hand is doing something weird. You don't have to do that with your hand if you don't want to. Flex and point the toes. 5, 4, 3, 2. Now, Bring the leg down only a little lower. Bottom leg squeezes up without using your top hand for balance. Flex and point both feet. Flex and point, flex and point. You can take turns left and right or take them at the same time. Flex and point, flex and point. 5, 4, 3, 2. Drop the bottom leg. Keep that top leg up. Right arm, I should say whatever leg's on top, take the matching arm, reach it across, and bring elbow to knees. Inhale and exhale. Now you could make this more challenging by not resting on the bottom arm. You're just gonna reach up and it's like a little side curl. But honestly, we're kind of working towards the end of the class, so I'm taking it easy. But that's me. 4, 3, 2. Last one, hug it in. And I'm gonna hug it in by hooking my arm underneath my leg and really pulling my knee in towards my armpit. Just giving myself a stretch and checking in with how my body is feeling. And if there's space behind me and I don't hit the kettlebell, I'm gonna come onto my back and bring both knees in, giving myself a hug. Now, I will point out, I bring my knees to the sides of my ribs, not onto my belly button, because that just makes me feel like I'm gonna barf. So I don't do that variation. That was my mouth, by the way, if you heard that noise. I'm just expressing my feelings. And we're gonna come on to the other side. So whatever side you were on, remember I gave you a choice, but I also told you to remember. We're coming onto the other side. So come all the way onto your side. Extend the feet, extend the legs, hips, heels, shoulders, one line. Top leg push down, lift up. Flex and point, flex and point. Flex and point. You can even wiggle the ankle a little bit. Just the goal here is to check in with stability and making sure that you're using the obliques the right way, not using your hand to cheat. And 4, 3, 2. Now drop the leg a little bit, bring the bottom leg up, flex and point both feet. And you can twirl the ankles, you can do whatever. It's really just keeping some type of movement going. Whoop. And 3, 2, and drop that bottom leg, bring the elbow to knee and extend. Inhale and exhale it up. Ooh, yawn if you need to, because apparently that's a thing. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, and then instead of hugging that knee in, because we kind of already hugged it on the other side, we're just going to come onto our belly. Stay nice and low to start. Bend the knees. Sway your toes left to right. Just a nice little sway. Left to right. And then release the toes down. Ooh, really yawn if you need to. Bring the hands underneath your shoulders. Add a little dance, going side to side. You can come up a little higher if the back, the spine is healthy and happy doing this kind of movement. If it's not, go as high as your body lets you. Play with your own strengths, okay? Your own flexibilities. If you're coming up, the goal is to keep your hips down on the ground as much as possible. Maybe play with the legs and maybe not. Really, it's up to you. And then wherever you are, meet me up and over in a child's pose. Sway a little side to side. Press your way up into a seated. And we're going to do a little bit of a stretch for our hips and our knees. First, we know this pose, and you can stay in this pose as long as you need to. This is the feet together, knees wide, Baddha Konasana in yoga, cobbler's pose, also known as butterfly pose in some places. So where this is going to be for our hips is going to lift up your right foot, slide the left foot a little across, and bring that heel on top. My hips are saying some really fun words, which I will not say on camera. But we stay here, breathe into it. And the goal isn't to lean back, it's to kind of give that encouragement through the hip. And then we kick and we switch. Trying to bring the ankle, not just the foot, the ankle on top of that knee. Ooh, rocking into it. My hips are saying hi. They're actually saying a whole bunch of other words, which I'm trying not to say. Stay nice and tall. And 3, 2, take the legs out, and one last thing, just give yourself a wiggle and a high five for making it through class.